Welcome. Come see our newest Airbnb. So here it is. I'm going to explain to you just kind of like the ins and outs of why we set up what we set up. So this is the kitchen. This is a 1-bedroom. It's about a 650 or 750 square foot apartment in Richardson. It's a suburb of Dallas, and we have a lot of monthly stays that like to stay in this neighborhood. So we've set up a place kind of according to what we think our guests are going to want and need. So one cool thing that I can show you right away is, as you can see in this whole place, we do a lot of staging for the photography. So we're about to do the photos for this listing, and we keep our wine glasses out, and we have a knife set that looks good on display, and we have these really cool silicone, and I really recommend silicone because they use better, utensils, and we stage the countertops. So when we do all the photography, all this stuff sells itself. We don't have to keep writing in our Airbnb description that we have cooking utensils or stuff. This actually makes the photos better. That's kind of why we have it. Now, decor is a big deal. So we transition here. We've of course, every single property, we try our best to make sure we utilize all the space. So that when we take a photograph from the kitchen into the living room, you're going to see the vase and other things like for depth of field. Here is something we really like doing now. In order to control how much coffee people are using, we have little dispensers that we fill, and then we have a separate inventory control where we top these off to the level that we think is necessary. Now, fun fact, did you know that 1 out of every 3 travelers will either choose decaf or tea as opposed to regular coffee? A lot of hosts don't even have decaf coffee. It's a thing. So with that said, because of tea, we have a kettle, an electric kettle, and there's a hack I'm going to teach you in the future. That electric kettle is not just for tea, it's for cleaning, believe it or not. So let's move on into the kitchen, or out of the kitchen and into the living room. So this section may get away with never using a table. Some people would just like to have stools and eat at the kitchen, so we provide both options. We have a couple of bar stools right here. We've got 2 stools because it goes with the 2 lights, 2 vases. We've tried to create like a theme, 2 by 2 by 2. And then here we're about to stage the table. When we take our photos, we're going to have placemats, we're going to have the plates, cups, napkins, silverware out, and we're going to make that table look ready for use because it helps us tell a story about the home. Like, you can eat here. It's not like, hey, here's a table with all the place settings, imagine dinner, right? That's kind of what we want to go with that. All right, so the theme of the space, we decided we're going to use a lot of yellow and blue. So with the bookshelf, we decided to invest in yellow and blue artwork, yellow and blue books, and then we were able to find some board games that kind of match the yellow theme. And I think a lot of hosts forget about little things like this. Having even just board games that you can advertise in your photos when people are going through your Airbnb space, when they see that you have some board games, if they want to have a quiet night in, you have the opportunity for that. People get really excited. And I know that there's travelers that say they've booked Airbnbs just because they had board games and it like made it an option for their space. So don't slouch on board games. They will get you more bookings, which is wonderful. Another thing, a few things that I want to talk about with the living room. There's not a ton to really say. Of course, scaling your space, the furniture has to match the space of the room. It's kind of the way it works. TVs, we wall mount our TVs, and we use Fire Sticks or Fire TVs now because they're the easiest to use. It integrates the smart TV technology into the TV itself and integrates into Amazon services like Amazon Prime Video, where if you use a Fire Stick, you have to turn the TV on and then go to the streaming service. I don't like Roku's quite as much. Roku's are cool, but I just think that Fire TVs have done really, really good, especially since they have voice command. You'd be like, hey, Amazon, I want to watch something. And so that's one thing we do here. Now, we always have like a coffee table tray and a coffee table book. It just helps design the space. You could have coasters and other tabletop knickknacks, but I really think that a coffee table book is just kind of a staple for our design style. So like I said, blue and yellow. I painted this myself because I wanted to show our Airbnb community that you can do your own artwork to make it highly applicable for the space. And so since we're doing a lot of blue and yellow, and it's hard to get a painting this big somewhere on the cheap, we actually made this frame ourselves, painted it on the kitchen island here in this very space, let it dry, and then we wall mounted it. So it was a simple painting, but it really helps tie the whole space together, doesn't it? So one of the tips that you hopefully have picked up on by now is we don't go crazy on colors. We're using 2 colors for the kitchen and living room. That's blue and yellow. So now let's go to the bedroom. I'll show you the difference here. The bedrooms don't need to have too much in them, so be surprised. So What we've done is we've actually utilized the use of warm lights and curtains to create vertical space, and we're trying to create an ambience, right? So let me turn this on. So what we have is we have blackout curtains, super important for when people sleep. This curtain here helps with photography and helps make the space look a little bit more dreamy, a little bit more sleep ready. The curtain just provides depth in photos that it's kind of hard to achieve otherwise, and this allows you not to have to go overboard in cost. These are like 20 bucks, and this allows you to do so much with the space, so that way when you do photos, like taking a photo right here of the bed with the curtain and the throw, and maybe we'll get a little bit of the decorations in the back corner here. This shot looks super, super good just because of the netting. It just adds so much dimension to your shots. And Airbnb is about marketing your space. That's really all it is. It's about marketing your space. So we use warm lights in here, like just some really cute decorative lights, the netting, and it's all about this back wall. The wall that shares the headboard is really what's going to determine how good this photo is going to come out. We have this armchair here, and everything behind it coming into the living room is less consequential. We're not going to go crazy on decorating a couple of walls that aren't going to end up in photos anyway. It's really not part of our strategy. So as long as this wall looks good, you're able to create the space and sell it the way that you want to. And then last is the bathroom. And there's nothing really special about the bathroom. You have to have a sterile environment. That's it. The environment has to be sterile. So we have some decorations, nothing too crazy. We like to use the soap pumps and the dispensers for the toothbrushes and stuff like that as the decor itself. When this is finally set up and ready, we are going to be hanging the towels and rolling towels on the countertop here. We're going to be laying out a makeup towel, and the amenities that we provide, like towels and washcloths and stuff, become part of the decor. And that's it. And then otherwise from that, you just need to keep this place clean. No spots on the mirror kind of stuff. And that's it. That's a whole one-bedroom apartment. There's some stuff in the one-bedroom apartments that we don't put. Like, for example, if we walk back into the kitchen, you'd see that we don't have a blender. You'll also see that we don't have a toaster. We always forget the toasters, don't we? But we'll put one in there. So you don't need a blender or other big cooking like utensils for big parties. A 2-bedroom house or a 3-bedroom house needs stuff that a 1-bedroom doesn't get because of the type of guest. So in a future video, obviously we'll do a walkthrough of a much larger home. We've got one in Houston that we make almost $12,000 a month in cash flow on a 3-bedroom. And we'll show you what we put in that one. And you'd be surprised. We didn't spend nearly as much on it as you think we did. So welcome to our newest Airbnb. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the other side.